On June 22nd, the Fresno County Sheriff's Office partnered with Homeland Security ICE in a pilot program in partnership to try and keep our communities as safe as possible. What we started doing is involving ICE agents inside the Fresno County Jail so they could make determinations of their legality in the country as well as their criminal history and make a decision about how they proceed from there. For many years we've been working on the issue, and recent decisions have really hampered our ability to keep our community safe. Those issues include the Trust Act, which prohibits sheriff from holding some illegal immigrants on some of the crimes that have been committed, as well as a court decision in Oregon that talked about due process before sheriffs' local jails could hold somebody for ICE pickup. We've come up with a possible solution, so we started this pilot project. As a result, I want to introduce Jose Correa. He's the Assistant Field Office Director for the Fresno area. His responsibility doesn't include just Fresno County. He'll tell you more about that. For a couple of years now, I've been involved at the national level with a law enforcement immigration reform task force. And one of the issues that we discussed was sheriffs are happy to notify ICE when they have a hold. However, continuing to hold them after we have the statutory authority to do so creates some local liability. And the solution we found was to put ICE agents right inside our jail so we don't have inmates or suspects fall through the cracks and end up causing harm in our community. So I want to introduce Jose Correa now to you to talk more about his responsibility and the partnership.
Thank you, Sheriff. First of all, I want to thank the Sheriff for her support. Sorry. I want to thank. I want to thank the Sheriff for her support on this pilot project. She is truly a leader, and she now has illustrated to the rest of the nation on the importance of collaborating with her law enforcement partners on such an important issue, on just keeping the public's safety at the forefront. I'm the assistant, like she said, I'm the assistant field office director for ICE. I run the enforcement removal operations for ICE in Fresno. My area of responsibility includes Merced County all the way down to Tulare and Kings. So there's quite a few counties in between that I'm responsible for. I have 18 agents assigned to me right now, and with that huge area of responsibility, it makes it really, really tough to cover. But the sheriff and I have collaborated on this new project that's really, really making a difference. Since we started this project, 23 criminal aliens have been apprehended, taken into ICE custody, and removed from the country. These are 23 criminal aliens that posed a significant public safety risk and would have fallen through the cracks normally, but with this pilot program, we were able to take those people into custody and help protect the public. On a daily basis, I send 2 agents at a time, and they screen 100% of the released inmates. We screen them for the big picture, how much actual crime they've committed in the past, and basically to see if they pose a significant public safety risk if released. If they fall within our ICE enforcement priorities, we will take them into custody. So far it's been very successful, and I do thank the sheriff for his support.
This is a good example of when agencies get together, and I can talk in Washington, D.C. all I want, but everything's local. And when we're able to solve these problems at the local level, I think it's powerful. And it's important, and it's a great message to our communities that we're doing everything we can by working together to keep them as safe as possible. Are there any questions?
What types of crimes are you talking about?
We are looking for what we call level 1s and level 2s. Level 1s being the most severe. That would be, for our terms, an aggravated felon, the rapist, the child sex offender, things of that nature. Level 2s are what we consider significant public safety risks, and those include domestic violence convictions, multiple DUIs, things that would normally pose a significant public safety risk if released. And those are the basic people that we're looking for. They have to, first of all, fit within the current ICE enforcement priorities, and I'm looking for those 2 levels in particular.
Another question would be, okay, how are some of the ways that the ICE officers screen the inmates?
The first way is just the basic interview. We trying to determine if they're foreign born, if they were born in another country, regardless of where they're from. If they were born in another country, we look for how they entered the country, be it illegally or by visa. And then once we establish that they're amenable for removal, if they violate their visa or if they've come into the country illegally, the next step is to determine criminality. We don't want to waste resources on non-criminals, so we focus our attention on the criminality. So that's what I meant by the level 1s and level 2s. Once we establish that they've been convicted of those crimes, we take them into custody, and then the processing will start at that point.
Before this program was in place a little over 2 weeks ago, what needed to happen to deport a criminal?
The problem prior to this, when we started this pilot project, is the differences in staffing for ICE and the nature of the local jail, which runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So the request for notification was fine, but if we made that notification Saturday morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, it really hampered their ability to respond to take somebody into custody. So by embedding the agents into the jail, even for right now, for the 18 hours a day is what they're working, is made an important difference. Of course, what the assistant field director needs is additional resources. Fresno County is not the only county that he represents. He has other county jails that he's responsible for in partnership with. And so what they need are additional resources. And of course, I'm going to be advocating for that because unfortunately we had an unfortunate incident in San Francisco a few days ago, and I think that sends the message that these kinds of partnerships are important, they work, and they're very powerful.
And why is it important to get these criminals out of the area, criminals who are here illegally?
With the priority system that ICE has put in place, they're catching people with pretty severe criminal activity or pretty severe criminal history. And no other country in the world really has the kind of issues that the United States have by accepting people into the country. And I don't think any other country would put up with this, and we shouldn't either.
How many people do you think slipped through the cracks?
There's no way to know how many people that could have been deported weren't. With the decision in Oregon and the Trust Act, it's been about a year and a half now that we have not been able to hold the detainees with the ICE request for the 48 hours. So however many people during that year and a half, I can't estimate how many.
Is there an expiration date on the pilot program, or
we really haven't talked about that. I think as long as we're getting results, we have a reason to keep it going, but that's all going to depend on the federal resources and our data that we collect.
Just to speak on your first question, before some of the detainees that were slipping through the cracks, we have a fugitive operations team that would go after it, but that would I would need additional resources to go and find these people and place my officers at risk. When you go through from one controlled environment to another, it's less risky for us as an agency. We have 18 law enforcement agents covering 6 counties. With all the facilities in between, we cover state prisons, Bureau of Prisons, and local jails. So all those facilities we need to cover. And this is the first step to at least to show the nation that this is a good model and it works. If we get the cooperation of each sheriff.
What do you think the sense of the because this is if you know now, they're going to say you got to watch out now, right?
Well, absolutely. This is a good program because it is getting results. So as this model gets copied across the country, it's by word of mouth that these things will get across.
I think the message to the criminal element out there is, in Fresno County especially, this partnership is important. And the message is you can't continue your criminal activity in Fresno County if you're here illegally and not have the expectation of remaining here. We're going to do everything we can to remove you so that you are not a threat to the citizens that are law-abiding and don't need that kind of criminal activity.